Welcome to WrestleCast. I am Ryan, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Clash of Champions pay-per-view. I'd like to start by saying Charlie isn't able to join me today. He hasn't had the opportunity to watch Clash of Champions yet. Things are just getting in the way. The time that the show actually airs in the UK and work and things like that. He is going to get round to watching it as soon as possible, and he may put up his own review on the channel as well, so keep an eye out for that. But this is just my solo review of Clash of Champions. So I'd like to start by talking about the actual name of the pay-per-view itself, Clash of Champions. I'm really not a fan of it. I know it's kind of a throwback to Clash of the Champions, the series that WCW showed, but I don't like the name Clash of Champions for a pay-per-view like this. I feel it would be a much better name for a pay-per-view if Raw and SmackDown champions were actually competing against one another. But that's not the case. But I think that would have, certainly the name for it would have been better in my opinion. However, this is what we got, so let's move on and actually discuss the pay-per-view itself. So the first match of the evening was the New Day against the Bullet Club. The Bullet Club came out attacking straight away, looking very strong in it, just wiping out the New Day from the get-go. The New Day, even before the match started, just show how awesome they are by coming out and doing their stuff on the mic. They always really impress on the mic. Eventually, the New Day win the match by some shenanigans from Xavier on the outside with the help of Francesca. Dirty finish. I'm okay with that. A lot of people I've heard complaining about the New Day winning that way. I think it fits into their character, fits into how they used to win constantly by cheating, and I'm okay with them continuing to do that. So the second match on the card was for the Cruiserweight title. It was TJ Perkins defending against the Brian Kendrick in the first title defense since the Cruiserweights went back to Raw. The match itself was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. There were a few botches in it and a few bits that just looked a little awkward. Like the guys weren't entirely sure what they're doing. The fans never really seemed to get fully into the match. I'm not sure if they were maybe expecting something more high flying than they were actually given. The match itself, I've made some notes, and one note actually says that the match never seemed to get out of second gear, which I fully believe it. It got brought up and then just never took off. But Kendrick, once again, I said this in my actual review of the Cruiserweight Classic, Brian Kendrick is phenomenal as a heel. His in-ring work as a heel is outstanding, and other guys on the card could learn something from him. But anyway, TJ Perkins wins the match by a submission, and yeah, the match was just okay, which I'm a little disappointed about. I'd imagine everyone else is as well. Really, after how good the Cruiserweight Classic was, hoping the Cruiserweights would just go out there and wow everyone. But that's what we got. The third match on the card was the supposedly final match in the best of 7 series. Winner receives a title shot against Cesaro and Sheamus. This match started quite slow. I wasn't that into it. They're both workers that can put on good matches, but I thought it's not going to run very long. They're just going to go through the motions, and probably Sheamus would win because they're not going to want to give Cesaro a title shot. However, it didn't play out that way. The match actually went on far longer than I would have expected it to. It got pretty brutal. Saw some things that I certainly hadn't seen before from Cesaro, pulling out the 619, which really did put a smile on my face. There were some very good moments in the match as a whole. Cesaro looked like he almost killed himself with a suicide dive outside the ring. Actually took back for a second and thought that, this guy might be seriously hurt, but he continued on with the match, and the match ended with a no contest on the outside of the ring, with a clothesline over the security barrier of all things. But overall, the match was very good. Both guys done great in it. They got a lot more time than I had anticipated them actually being given. Overall, very good match. Just a bit of a disappointing finish. After that, it was Sami Zayn against Chris Jericho. Not a lot to say about this match. Both guys put on a really good showing. As you would expect both men to do. Both men are, Chris Jericho is my number one wrestler of all time, which you would know if you've watched our top 5 of all time list. Sami Zayn is one of the best guys in the company today. He's put on some outstanding matches. Some of his matches with Kevin Owens have been awesome. His match against Shinsuke Nakamura was mind-blowing. Really, both these guys are capable of incredible things, and their match was very, very good. Chris Jericho won, and he won clean, which was pretty surprising. But then we got the women's title match, the triple threat with Charlotte, Bayley, and Sasha. Again, not a lot to say about this match. All 3 of these women are very good, and they put on a very good match, exactly what you would expect from them. It seems like people keep saying it, they're giving women a chance now, and I feel they genuinely are, and the women are allowed the time to show how good they can be when they're given the time. And these 3 women were fantastic. I would like to say Charlotte had what may be the best moonsault I've ever seen, where she moonsaulted both Sasha and Bayley at the same time. But very good match, and Charlotte retains with a little help from Dana Brooke. After this, we had Rusev defending his United States Championship against Roman Reigns. The match was pretty by the numbers for a Roman Reigns match. Rusev does all the work, dominates for the majority of it, but Roman, just being Superman, can't really be hurt, and eventually comes out with the win, winning the United States title in the process. I would say this was a weak match, but Rusev was very good in it. Lana done very well, and it kind of saved the match as a whole. But once I am not impressed with Roman Reigns. I don't like the fact that they've put the United States title on him. I believe Rusev would probably be a better United States champion in the long run, but Roman Reigns does belong in the mid card, and this is a way to put him into the mid card and properly take him out of the main event setting, which could in the long run work in the company's favour. We then had the main event, Kevin Owens defending the Universal title against Seth Rollins. Both of these guys are outstanding, and they put on a fantastic match overall. Kevin Owens may be the best guy in the world at talking smack while he's beating you down. And doing it just brought a smile to my face time and time again. There was a lot of good back and forth in this match. Some good spots on the outside of the ring. All in all, the match as a whole was very good. Chris Jericho came out and interfered. Rollins fought them both off. It's really cementing Rollins' face turn, which they're doing slowly but surely, which is, I think, makes sense. People love him, and they should love him. He's one of the best athletes in the company. Rollins fought them both off. He had the match won, but due to the referee being down, by the time a new ref came out, Kevin Owens hits the pop-up powerbomb and retains the Universal title, which is one of, on this card, a new going in. TJ Perkins would successfully defend the Cruiserweight title, and Kevin Owens would successfully defend the Universal title. This is because both titles are reasonably new. The Cruiserweight titles came back, but it's just came back, and this is the first time it's been defended. they really want to cement it and make it, make it a title that's worth having. And the same with the Universal title. It's a new title. Kevin Owens is the second Universal Champion in a very short space of time due to Finn Balor's injury. And to make this really make the title something worth going for, to make it prestigious, the champ needs to hold on to it for a while. So hopefully both of these guys can hold on to their title for some time, and they don't just start passing the titles around, try to work out who the title fits best, because that devalues the title and it devalues the guys holding it. So I knew this would happen going on. Overall, I'd say the pay-per-view was very good. The exception of the Cruiserweight match was pretty good. Again, the Roman Reigns match wasn't fantastic, but Rusev and Lana worked their asses off in it and were able to actually, make the match more than it could have been. But the rest of the matches were very good. There were a few dodgy finishes in it, quite a few, interferences from the outside, or the no contest in the best of 7 series. Hopefully most of this will play out storyline wise. I can definitely see Chris Jericho's stuff with Kevin Owens coming in further down the line, 100%. Hopefully they'll do something good with Cesaro and Sheamus. I don't want to see another match at the pay-per-view by them, even though their match was good. I mean, they've just had 7 matches, and they had a couple before that. I believe it's 9 matches they've had in the last few months. So I think we need to stop that, but possibly give them a shot at the tag team titles. I mean, the whole thing was for a title shot. They both won or they both lost, depending how you want to look at it. Give them a shot at the tag titles, or make it a triple threat between them in a title match. So yeah, overall the matches were pretty good, except for the weird finishes. Not much else to say about it. Again, don't like the name of the pay-per-view, but the pay-per-view as a whole was good. The format made sense, unlike SummerSlam, and yeah, I think overall I'd give it 4 out of 5. Possibly knocking it down to 3.5 out of 5, just because of the sheer amount of weird finishes and stuff we had. But the quality of the matches were very good, and cannot complain about that. So, did you see Clash of Champions? What did you think about it? Did you enjoy it? Let me know what matches you liked, what you thought about the matches, and what would you rate the pay-per-view as a whole? What do you think of the name Clash of Champions? Do you think it should have been called something different? So let us know in the comments. If you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you want more stuff on wrestling, click subscribe. We are going to continue doing our pay-per-view reviews. Hopefully for the next pay-per-view, No Mercy, we will be able to review it together, just having to work around work and stuff, but hopefully we'll be able to do that together. We're also going to be doing some other stuff. We're considering starting a WrestleMania review series where we work our way through all the WrestleManias, reviewing them one by one until the next WrestleMania. We also have a few other ideas in the work, but if there's anything you would like us to make a video on, please put it in the comments and we'll have a look at that. So thank you for joining us, and until next time, please try this at home.